Children are our future. That's why providing special education to children with disabilities is so important. The MonSTaR Foundation in Sydney helps fund early intervention work, covering the costs for parents of skilled teaching and exceptional care. If you donate, please go to monstarfoundation.com.au. MonSTAR, an intriguing name for a foundation that helps children with disabilities and their families. MonSTAR has raised over $1 million in 6 short years, and funds have been equally shared between MND and STAR. But there's a long way to go.
Hello, my name's Margaret Leader. This is my granddaughter, Jessica McLaughlin. Jessica has just started to walk. She was born 3 months premature. She's got epilepsy and cerebral palsy. The progress that she has made out of this STAR program is enormous. The love, the attention, the interaction with the other children. She's in with children of her own age and reacts to them, they react to her. The biggest miracle at this point in time has been her ability to be able to stand and walk, even though that is aided. It is hoped that one day we will be able to teach her to talk.
The STAR Association provides educational programs and special needs teachers for preschool-aged children with intellectual disabilities. It means they are now able to attend mainstream childcare centres and begin their transition to society.
My name's Sam Wilson, I'm 36. This is my son Harry, he's nearly 3 years old.
And I'm Alison, I'm Harry's mum. We first suspected there was some delays with Harry when he was about 9 months old, and he was diagnosed at about 15 months. And he started here at Top Right Early Learning in January this year, and we're really happy with the progress that he's made since then. It's not even a year and he's coming along in leaps and bounds, especially with his social skills. We're really happy with how he interacts with the other children. And he's feeding himself, he's walking now, he's making great improvements. He's got relationships with the other staff members and the other kids here. He really adores being here. He used to be a bit anxious when we first arrived, so it took a few months for him to settle in, and he really loves it here.
When Harry first started here, he was very upset. He'd cry, he'd hold on to us, we just couldn't leave, he'd scream his eyes out, but now he actually just runs away from us laughing. He doesn't even say goodbye, so no, he loves it here. He loves it more than when he gets home, he's actually upset to come home.
The STAR program's provided a lot of extra support, not just for Harry in terms of his goals, but also in terms of the fundraising. There's no pressure on us to do that, and that financial support is extremely important for the STAR program and MonSTAR. It just means a lot because it takes a lot of pressure off us. We've got a new baby and obviously working and lots of responsibilities looking after our son, so we're very grateful for the opportunities that Harry, our son's, been given.
Simone Garland, 2 boys with autism, James Garland and Tommy Garland. I first found out that my little one had autism at 3 years old. He's 6 years old now. He was at a daycare centre where they weren't too sure what to do with him. They hadn't had a lot of experience with autism. It was scary for me because after getting the diagnosis, the first thing you feel is isolated from your community and friends and family, and very lost as well and alone. I was at my wit's end and somebody gave me STAR's phone number. Somebody had actually listened to me, heard all of my problems, my worries, my concerns, not over just what was happening now, but if in the future, what was going to happen with their lives? Would they travel? Would they fall in love? Would they be able to live alone? Am I ever going to be able to die? Because who will look after them and look after their needs? STAR started it off at this centre here, which is a mainstream preschool. So the boys were included in the everyday activities and not left to their own devices in a corner, keeping themselves occupied. Neither boys were speaking until they were 4 and 5 years old, so all communication with boys was done through photographs. When they wanted the children to go outside, they show them a photograph. When they wanted them inside, when they wanted them to eat, group time, and all of this was incorporated at home with us as well, which was fantastic because the boys used to have meltdowns. To go anywhere, I feel like I have to cover myself in armoury to be prepared for the general public's reaction to children that have meltdowns and look like they're misbehaving. STAR has taught myself and my husband and our whole family the difference between misbehaving children and autism behaviour. They've taught me to concentrate on their strengths, which is visual learning, and teach them through that how to cope in the world.
Hi, my name's Tom. I'm an early childhood teacher in the Acacia Room. When I first started working here, the STAR program was already involved at the centre, and James was in the Waratah room and Tommy was in the Lillipilly room. And then very shortly he came up to the Acacia Room, and that was my first experience working with Tommy or with anyone with autism. And we bonded really quickly, and it was just an amazing experience for me to just build a relationship with him. And I found STAR invaluable for someone to come to and say, this is really exciting, this thing that happened, or this is really difficult and I have no idea what to do with this. I've never ever had to do this before. And someone would say, that's fine, this is some ideas. And it was just amazing to be able to build this relationship and see Tommy grow and develop and go from strength to strength.
This is rare, this situation that we've got here. This is 3 years of hard work through STAR and the teachers here at this daycare centre. It took a year for James to be able to sit at the table, and it would have taken about 18 months for them to learn about turn taking. So although it looks like we're sitting here just having a conversation and they're kids at the table, there's 3 years worth of hard work and support, visual aids.
Yeah. One of the things similar to that is that when Tommy first started in the Acacia Room, okay, thank you. It is my birthday. Hi. Sweetie, can I talk to you later? Can you go back into the room and I'll talk to you in a minute? When I first started with Tommy in the Acacia Room, he didn't want to eat near anybody. He would sit in another room and look through the window and make sure everyone had finished eating before he would start eating his meal. And we saw steps forward to the point where now he will come to the table without even being asked to sit down. He'll eat his meal and absolutely no stress. For something that used to be something that really kind of freaked him out a little bit, didn't want to do that, and now it's not even an issue. And those things that, you know, that are really difficult one time and then suddenly they're gone completely, that's pretty exciting.
Hi, I'm Jane and this is my daughter Georgia. Georgia's one of the original STAR children. She was diagnosed when she was about 2 years old. She's a triplet, and so she has 2 brothers, and the load was fairly big. So when she was diagnosed, we were a bit in a quandary as to what we were going to do, and we came across this thing called the STAR program. And it was great. It was like, okay, now we've finally found something that's going to help Georgia. It was a big load on the family because we also had to do some fundraising to keep Georgia in on the program, or else STAR wouldn't have been able to exist. And of course now there's the MonSTAR Foundation, which supports the STAR program, which is fabulous, because that means the parents don't have to take on that extra load to do the fundraising. And when we heard about that, I was just thinking, oh, isn't that nice for the other families not having to go through what we've gone through, and just enjoy being on the STAR program. The kids get the benefit and the parents can still just be parents. With STAR, the way we used to talk to Georgia's brothers about why she needed to be in a different daycare was because STAR provided for her an environment where she could learn to learn, but at the same time It was just a regular daycare centre where she was just one of the other kids, and it was just so nice to be able to take her there. She was just accepted as one of the other children, but knowing there was going to be a little bit of extra support provided by STAR.
I'm Margaret Meeker and I'm the General Manager of the STAR Association. I came into STAR and became involved through my daughter Lillian, who at 8 weeks old contracted meningitis, which resulted in quite severe brain damage. And I first became involved in STAR because I'd been rejected from 5 to 6 other childcare centres, and I was desperate for a place where my daughter could go and be included just with other kids.
Hi, I'm Megan Cooper. I'm a special educator, so it's my job to come in and work with the staff of the centre to support them in how to work with our children with disabilities. A part of what we do at STAR is prepare our preschoolers for big school. So a lot of our children go into a mainstream school setting, and we like them to be as prepared as possible for that. What's really lovely is that we often move to that next school setting with the peers that we've had in preschool, which are understanding, teaching the other children how to be accepting and how fun that our little people can be. And it's beautiful to see how proud and how understanding they are, and how they share that knowledge with other children. Oh, Tommy doesn't say all the words, but that's okay. He understands what you say. So it's really lovely to see the children. I don't like the word tolerance because I think it's a lot more than tolerance, real acceptance that we're all different. And it's lovely to see the long-term effect of that the children are growing up to be really beautiful, natural campaigners of social justice and equality without even knowing it.
Because one of the fears as a parent is that your child will have no friends. And for children with disabilities, isolation is probably your biggest worry for your child. You want your child to have those friendships and playing, and this is what this encourages, is the development of those peers, which is really important. Our vision for STAR is to have a STAR centre in every suburb so that we can encourage the building of those friendships that go on with the children to school life and life after that.
They're a fantastic team at Macquarie Neurology, just as there's an amazing group of people at STAR. As you've seen, our passion every day is to improve the quality of someone else's life, and this will never end. I'm asking you to choose MonSTAR as your charity and to join us as we work together to make a real difference. You can find out more at monstarfoundation.com.au. Thank you.